wasn't like that when we first got to the neighborhood. When we first got to the neighborhood, the hottest beef on the block were two businesses that were at war with each other. It was a health food store and a bagel shop. And the health food store started selling bagels. That's what I said. Here's the thing, they could have sold their bagels in secret. That would have been the respectable thing to do. But they put out a sign. Right, and the sign said, "We sell organic bagels." So the bagel shop put out a sign. And their sign said, "There's no such thing as organic bagels." I saw that, I was like, the block is hot! It's hot in these streets. My favorite thing is like, people still, no matter how crazy it is in New York, people still want to come to New York. They still want to come. People dream of coming to New York. They always tell me it's my dream of going to New York City. And we know why. New Yorkers, we know why. You want something crazy to happen. You want to see something wild. You want your weird New York story. I always tell them, come. It'll happen. We aim to please. The homeless will always provide. I'm sorry, the unhoused. Cupcake? Cupcake? I don't know. I realized that that's our PC term now, is unhoused. And look, I was an English major in college. I'm down to play with language. Let's do this. But we can talk about unhoused, can't we? It's goofy. I'll tell you why. Number one, that's the same word. You can't convince me otherwise. I have a thesaurus. You ain't gonna lie to me. And two, it sounds worse. Right? Homelessness sounds like a situation that could not have been prevented. Unhoused sounds like somebody just rolled up on them. And was like, "I'll be taking this. And no more house for you." The second I heard it, I was like, what an elitist, privileged way of describing a situation, right? Right, you can hear it right away. Did you hear about Janice? She was recently unhoused. That's the kind of word that is only used to make the speaker of said word feel better about acknowledging a situation they know nothing about. It just makes them uncomfortable to acknowledge it, so they created a word as a buffer, but there's no progress in that word. There is no help in that word. And if you've ever lived in that situation, then there are a bunch of words you would have used instead of that word. Like, I was shocked. I was like, nobody thought of nomad? That's my first choice. Can you imagine you roll up on a homeless person? "What up, my nomadic brother?" Way to stay off the grid, man. I, too, am anti-establishment. Some of the words, honestly, some of the changes, I'm okay with. You know what I mean? Some of the changes I think are pretty brilliant. I know a lot of people are upset with all the PC language, but I find it kind of entertaining. Like, did you know on social media now, they're calling smoking weed gardening? I love it. Oh, it makes me sound so much more productive. I've been gardening all day. Gardening helps me deal with people. You know, it doesn't matter how crazy New York gets, it's still a vibe. It's still a city that has its energy. Man, when you think about it, even when COVID hit, we were the epicenter. Even COVID came through like, "Look, New York is lit." COVID was like, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. Lived its best life. I remember when they released us, from COVID captivity. We got rid of that 6 feet of personal space day one. Day one, it was gone, man. We couldn't wait. I know, because I got on the subway, and within 2 seconds, I had a guy this close. Right in my face like that. I was like, "Sir, we're the only 2 people on this train." feel like there's a lot of options you're not taking. But where you trying to go? I thought he was lost for like a second. Maybe he thought I was the map. COVID was like a universal trauma that we all shared. What a crazy time. Everybody's life changed. Things changed for people. I became a mom during the pandemic. I had a baby, which is wild. Thank you, most of you. You know what? I realize I get a different response depending on like lifestyle-wise and generationally, like who's in the crowd. Like if it's older people or people with kids, they'll be like, woohoo, you made a person. But like young single people, y'all be like, I see all your trauma come up to the surface. I'm like, I said, I'm a mom, not your mom. I didn't do it. But I get it, because we're having different conversations now, right, about parenting. Right, we're getting into it, man. Parenting conversations are changing, and they should. We have some archaic views on parenting that I really think need changing. Like the belief that it makes or breaks you as a woman to have a baby. No, it doesn't. If you want to have a baby, have a baby. You don't want to have a baby, don't have a baby. It's nobody's business. It's ridiculous to think it's anybody's business but your own. But I will tell you this, anytime I've met a woman that doesn't want kids, that is the first thing she wants me to know about her. The second she finds out I'm a mom, she's like, I don't want kids. Cool, I wasn't offering. I was talking about my favorite subject, which is me, and then you interrupted me with some you, which I did not request for this. But I respect it. I respect it when a woman knows she doesn't want to have kids. I do. I think it's a good thing to know about yourself, and I think a lot of people would have been spared bad relationships with their mothers had they known they didn't know what they were doing or feel like they wanted to do it even in the first place. And I wish more people were that aware, right? Sometimes it's a bummer, I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll meet a person who's a really good human being and they don't wanna have kids, and I'm like, damn, I really wish you did, because I wish there were more people like you know what I mean? And then sometimes people are like, I don't wanna have kids, and I'm like, that's probably the best for everybody. I don't think you should have houseplants. Like, I don't know if you know how to love, bro. We're having these different conversations that I feel like are so important because we're talking about things that definitely people that grew up in certain generations never heard of, right? Like we're talking about toxic parenting, right? We never heard that growing up. And let me tell you something, like I said, I'm Puerto Rican. I guarantee you nobody's cornered the market on toxic parenting like Latino parents. Woo! Man. Oh, look at us trauma bonding. It hurts so bueno, doesn't it? I'm telling you, man. We put the tra in trauma. That was us. That was all us. It was just Alma, we spiced it up. That's why we have to talk about stuff like toxic parenting, because a lot of us didn't even realize we had toxic parents until we looked over our childhoods with today's guidelines. I thought I was safe. I was like, nah, I love my parents love me. What's that? Yeah, they hit me. Every day. But only when I was doing kid stuff. Let me see that list real quick. Let me look real quick. Saw all the information they know now about raising kids, and I was like, oh no! I need so much therapy. Like, that's wild. I hope there's a punch card. Trying to explain therapy to Latino parents. Look at that, look at that. Look at that. That hit you right in the trauma, right there. Like, whoop. Man, I was like, I cannot sana away depression. Not how that works. If you don't know what sana is, allow me to explain. For those that don't know, Latinos have this thing that we say when like little kids get hurt. It's a little rhyme, make them feel better, you know what I mean? Sana, sana, colita de rana. Si no sanas hoy, sanarás mañana. You're all healed.
I woke up one day, everyone's working from home. They all have like 16 kids. Everyone I know, right? Every person I know has like 75 children now. And like I do want to make fun of them, but I actually thought that was like a really good call, you know? Using the pandemic to have kids, because collectively as a society, what we got off work for like 18 months, you want to rear some children? Love that for you, for real. Personally, I'm gonna rear these drugs into my ass, but to each their own. I really did think it was a good way to spend the pandemic. I thought about it, you know, I'm a woman of a certain age, 69. And I've been married for a decent amount of time. We get those looks now. We walk into a family function and everyone's like, oh. I'm like, oh, no, it's just a fupa. We're very excited, though. Like, I can't do a Q&A on Instagram without someone being like, well, when are you and Ben having babies? I just want to say, like, when are you fucking off? Like, leave me alone. We thought about it during the pandemic. Ultimately, I came to the conclusion that I'd rather die. Okay, that's dramatic. No, it's entirely accurate. I'd rather be dead. And it's not because I think I'd be a bad mom. I mean, I know I would be, like, fucking terrible if... It's giving Casey Anthony. Oh. She's innocent! No, I'm kidding. I don't know if this needs to be said, but I do not stand by, like, mothers who murder their child. I might be for cancel culture, but I ain't for that. I'm not okay. What I realize is the reason I can't have children yet is because I'm literally too lazy. I can barely get out of bed to get myself a soda. That's literally why I got married. Kids are like 24/7 nonstop fucking torturers. Like, serious question for the mothers in the room. If you're a mom, when do you scroll TikTok? Yeah, because if I was a mom right now, I'm pretty certain I wouldn't know The Renegade. And I do know The Renegade. Okay. Yeah, everyone in this room, everyone watching at home, follow me on TikTok! I want that D'Amelio money, okay? I heard a rumor about parenthood. I heard that when you're a parent, you get out of bed in the morning. And you don't get back in until night? That's fucking psychotic. I'm calling the police. And the thing about children is they're always saying like the dumbest shit. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's so cute. Mommy! Hungry. Are you talking to me? Like, oh, you're hungry. Okay, me too, bitch. Make yourself a fucking snack and grow up. That would be my like style of parenting. You need to grow up. And the kid would be like, Mother, I literally cannot do that. And I would say, can't or won't. It's like the most annoying fucking thing our parents used to say, like, shut up. And I have this like personal dilemma that I struggle with because I really don't want to have just one kid. Yeah. Because only children are the worst. They're divas, and they have this really unhealthy obsession with their mothers. And think about it, in this scenario, I'm the mom, and I'm fabulous. The kid is gonna be fucking obsessed with me. I'm not gonna be able to get the fuck away, bitch! Get a life, loser. Oh my god, I'm literally so funny. Oh my god. So I'm just not interested in having one child. And I feel like everyone in the room is thinking of an only child they know right now and being like, oh my god, that head case. I just don't want it, you know? Like, you guys remember, what's that actress's name? Leah Michelle? Lean in. Only child. I don't know, I grew up in a house with like a lot of people. I want to have, dead ass, ideally, 50 kids. And I know what you're gonna say. Claudia, you just said you're lazy, so just have one kid and then you could be done and, you know, you're good. But I feel like having one child is extremely difficult and having 50 is like a walk in the park. You know? Because think about it. Let's say, seriously, I gave birth to 50 kids. Biblical shit, okay? I swear to God, the house would be such chaos, nobody would know if I packed my shit up and bounced one day, like, grabbed all the snacks, put the numbers on the fridge, tell your dad, deuces, I'm out. It's been real. Real fucking torture. I don't know, I grew up in a house with a lot of kids. I feel like you learn important qualities when you're in a house with a lot of kids, you know, what's the one? Sportsmanship. It's a good one. I just think it'd be fun and lit. Although, I did read somewhere, and of course, read somewhere means saw it in a TikTok. It said Osama bin Laden had 50 siblings, so that changes things. I just don't understand how, as a woman, these are my options, for real. Like, I'm either gonna raise a Leah Michelle or an Osama bin Laden. Honestly, like, it's tough. I don't know which is worse. That was fucked up. I apologize to Osama and the whole bin Laden family. Not a cool comparison. Oh, and I know nobody wants to hear this, but it's the truth. I'm certainly not having kids while all the pandemic stuff is still going on, because nobody wants to hear this, but these kids, woof. In no way, shape, or form are they gonna grow up to be even remotely cool. I'm sorry. You guys, they did school from home for an entire year. Do you know what we used to call kids who did school from home in my day? Losers. Homeschooled jungle freaks.
Like right in the beginning of the quarantine lockdown, when everybody was losing work, my best friend and her son moved in with us. And then what happened is they're still there. Yeah, we had said we didn't want kids, and then we adopted a single mom. It's a blessing. They move in with us, and now we look like we have our own big love situation happening. Because from the outside looking in, it looks like we have a husband, 2 wives. Like, I imagine when they first moved in, my neighbors were like, oh, that's nice, her sister's moving in for a little while. And now that they're still there, they're probably like, wait, that's her sister or her sister wife? And my friend that moved in, she's beautiful, just a stunning human being. So people would message me and be like, aren't you a little concerned having a beautiful woman around your husband all the time? And I was like, no, not even a little bit. Like, if anything, she got me to step my game up. She did, because like when she moved in, I started doing that one thing, what do they call it? Try? I started trying. I started wearing clothes with zippers and buttons again. Hey, look at me go. I had to step my game up. Not because I was concerned about my husband, I just didn't want the neighbors to think that she was wife number 1. Her son Elijah, He was 10 years old when they first moved in. And he's used to being parented by one person, a single mom who's doing the best she can. So he knew how to work the system. Then they move in with us, and now he has 3 adults looking after him. He loves that part. And we all have a role in the house. Penelope is his mom. She tells him what to do and what not to do because she's the mom. But if he doesn't listen, that's when my husband, Tio Manuel, steps in. Tio Manuel is like the law of the house. Yes. And my role is I'm the snitch. Say I won't. I'm the one that's like, oh, are you supposed to be watching YouTube videos before school? That's interesting. I love Elijah. I'm very close with Elijah. I'm his godmother. I'm Nina. So we have the auntie-nephew relationship. I've been in his life since day one. Literally the day he was born, I was in the hospital room. I saw his head come out and go right back in. He wasn't ready. It was a long day. I love Elijah. We're very close. He's my godson. But something happened. When they moved in, our dynamic shifted to be more like siblings who fight. And I realized we were both fighting for attention. He's used to having his mom's attention all to himself. Then they move in with us, and I'm like, my best friend lives with me. We're gonna hang out every day. This is gonna be great. So now I'm the thing in his way. But he's also the thing in my way. He doesn't have siblings, so he doesn't know how to share. I don't have kids. I don't know how to share. So now we just bump heads. Sometimes Elijah and I will have good conversations with each other, but other times I just see him in the hallway and check it. I snitch on Elijah, but he snitches on me too. Because we have security cameras around the house, and he didn't know this at the time, but they record audio. I got a notification on my phone that there was motion in the backyard, so I click on it. What's this? And it's him talking to his mom, and he was complaining about me. I'll tell you guys what happened right before that. Give you a little bit of backstory. We were in the kitchen. He had just popped off at the mouth, was given an attitude, so I was like, okay, me too. So she took him in the backyard to word him up and be like, what are you doing? You can't be giving an attitude, like something like that. I missed the beginning of the conversation. By the time I click on it, all I hear is him telling his mom, oh yeah, well why does Nina gotta be sarcastic? And little does he know, my sarcasm is what paid for this house. So you're welcome. But now I have to chime in on my camera speaker. Oh yeah, I'm sarcastic? That hurt your feelings? Well, if Nina stops being sarcastic, you start being homeless. We had another big change happen for us because I was born and raised in California, spent my whole life there. Thank you. So never did I imagine that in the middle of a pandemic that I would be moving to Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you. Listen, that's very kind of you to cheer for that. Because I am well aware that people from Nashville do not like Californians moving here. And hey, I get it. Me either. Let's cut it off after me. This is getting ridiculous. House prices are through the roof. Traffic is insane. This is not the Nashville I remember moving to. Learning a lot being a California girl living in the South, because it's different here. I've learned when I go to a restaurant, if I order an iced tea, it automatically comes with 3 pounds of sugar in it. Y'all call that sweet tea. We call it diabetes. Learning a lot. Very simple things. Like when I'm in Los Angeles, if I go to a store and they're like, can I help you find anything? I'm like, I'm okay. And if I'm feeling really friendly that day, I'm like, I'm okay, thanks. That's it. That's where it ends. Then I got to Nashville. I'm at TJ Maxx one day. I can hear the ladies in the row next to me. Can I help you find anything? I'm all right, but thank you so much for asking.
I do think I made an actual good choice recently. I just quit being vegan after 1.5 years of doing it. I'm back, baby! I'm back in these meat streets. Oh, man, does it feel good to have friends again? Yeah, no one wants you around. My ex-husband and I, we went vegan together on January 1st, 2020. And then 2 months later, we were divorced. Am I saying that veganism ruins marriages? Yeah, I am. But if we kept on eating nachos, we would have been too happy and too sleepy to notice our problems. There's not a lot of divorce in the Midwest. People think it's religion. It's cheese curds. Cheese can do what God can't. A couple hasn't had sex in 20 years, but they eat a cheese curd and go, you know what? One more day. I'll think about divorce tomorrow, but right now, I'm gonna face fuck this cheddar. I'm gonna get lost in this plate. So, I just saw something online that burned my eyes. I just found out that I'm on WikiFeet. Does anybody here know what WikiFeet is? A few of you nodding. A lot of dudes that are like, don't make eye contact with me right now. If you don't know what WikiFeet is, it's a website for people with foot fetishes. So women, if you post a photo on Instagram that shows your little tootsies, the foot folks might do a copy and paste onto WikiFeet and then zoom in on your toes and make their keyboard sticky. I know. It's like scrapbooking for men who need Jesus. It's a nice hobby. I know that sounds like I'm kink shaming. I'm really not trying to. Honestly, I am so jealous that some people can get off from that. Like, I wish I could just stare at a dude's hairy kneecap and get tingles in my basement. What a life. I would live on Wiki Knees. Oh, I would get nothing done. It's so much harder than that. So somebody told me that there's this profile of me on WikiFeet, and at first when I heard that, I was like, oh, does that mean I have hot feet? I'm so flattered. Then I went and looked. I saw that the foot fetish community has rated my feet only 2.3 out of 5 stars. Which they call okay feet. I was like, oh, apparently I have Applebee's feet. It's like, you'll put it in your mouth, but you won't tell anybody about it. Just kind of a 2 for Tuesday deal. And a few months before the pandemic hit, some dude slid into my DMs and just said, $2,000 for foot vid. Now, Denver. Make some noise if you would send a video of your feet to a stranger for $2,000. Godless animals, all of ya. My ears, Jesus. Some of you just throw your areola up on Facebook for $1. Aunts and uncles seeing it, you don't give a shit. You're like, Venmo me my dollar, Aunt Sherry, I earned this. This is a solid nip.